shirt off and shout Rev Deuces. Stream starts now. Now that I have your attention, it's time for us to get serious. Say hello and chat to your friends. Fires up the stream, hear the good vibes come. Let's distract you from that terrible day. Your wife doesn't suck, your husband is a nag, but here you matter, and there's very little lag. Rev Deuces stream, yeah, we laugh as one, telling dad jokes and flirting with every daughter and son. We're gonna burn our retirement homes on down and shake our asses like Nurse Rose Brown. Patch notes hit, he's already ready. Scopely's wild, he's not gonna edit. Game's a mess, he still stands tall with spreadsheet sass and a reverent call. Do you miss having someone to talk to when you're bored? To talk to when you ain't got nothing to do? Do you miss having someone to talk to when it's late at night? Well, have I got a stream for you? Rev Deuces stream, yeah, we laugh as one, telling dad jokes and flirting with every daughter and son. We're gonna burn our retirement homes on down and shake our asses like Nurse Rose Brown. Ain't nothing wrong with a little pawn far. Chat can't be trusted, it's a juvenile seminar. But that's okay because we all need a little fun. Life's too short and you're too cute, my ginger buns. Rev Deuces stream.
All right, let's tear all the things down. You can go ahead and like the video now that you're here. Don't be a communist. Like the video. Be like Major Samo. She likes the video as soon as she gets here. She doesn't even wait. She just hits the button. You know, the content's good. She just hits the button. Be like Major Samo. Welcome in, everybody. We did not have a stream yesterday because the patch notes I felt were important, need to get out, and that was the best time to talk about it. So we're making up for that by having one now, and we're going to talk your ears off about all kinds of things. We got away teams going on right now. We've got an effort, I think a good effort, by a lot of the top PvP players in the game, as well as just a lot of people who like PvP to try to save arenas. Yeah, there's a whole Discord being made about it. I'm very interested in that. We'll talk about that. And of course, the long list of heroic events. And let me tell you, I'm basically ignoring them. 3 straight days and getting worse and worse, especially if you're one of our G6 players. Just remember the word heroic means spend. It's just an odd way of spelling it, and you have to decide whether that's worth it for you. You want to go buy those prototype techs, etc.? Well, we'll talk about all that stuff today, and hopefully help you have a good day, a great day, a wunderbar day, as our friends in Das Vaterland would say. Welcome in, everybody. Do appreciate everybody here. Art, good to see you. Rob, Scott, Samo, OGOP, JG. Brandon is even here. Brandon, I love you. I'm in love with you. Good to see you. Austin is here. Pinslayer, Stingray, Viper, James, who's always talking about the Wandering Warriors event. Will it ever come back? No, James, it won't. It might. I don't know. But maybe for you, it will. We would love it for you to get your Wandering Warriors back. Brandon is here. Good to see you, Brandon. Brandon checked out our Twitch stream last night. Seemed to enjoy it. Thanks all for being here. Good to see everybody. The way you save arenas is to run in 24 hours. See, Pinslayer, I'll be honest, and I say this as an arenas guy. I think that would be a nail in the coffin. Here's why I believe that. The reason I believe that would be a nail in the coffin is there's just simply not enough players. So if you try to get new players to play, but then they had to experience incredibly bad wait times because it was set all day, meaning you've dispersed the numbers out, I believe that would be so much frustration. The people you would finally convince to do it would then be so frustrated they would not do it, if that makes any sense. Now, that's just me speaking out of what I believe. But if people disagree, this is a place of disagreement, as in you are allowed to come here, point your facts out, your truth, I think, as the kids would say, and we'll try to, you know, find the answer in there. So why do people love Wandering Warriors so much? Easy, Latinum. Wandering Warriors is a great way to source Latinum, and especially if you're free to play, that is very valuable. Now, if you did not have all like the ship parts and stuff to do those, then yeah, probably not as good for you. But like just generally speaking, why is Wandering Warriors an event that a lot of people like James are constantly calling for? Because of the massive Latinum payouts. Shiny gold press Latinum. Exactly, Major Samo. Very, very shiny gold press Latinum. Now, the question is, when will it come back? And a big thing comes down to when it comes to certain events that are liked, like the Rialto races, the Rialto Wars, and the things like Wandering Warriors, a lot of that really does come down to how much the players are vocally yelling for it. I know that sounds silly, like shouldn't they have a schedule for these things? When it comes to what they run, it really does come back to, and I know it may be hard for to believe, a lot of player feedback. I mean, one of the reasons that you saw the Mega Cube event get overhauled a year or two ago, Sam, I don't remember, was it a year ago or 2 years ago, the Mega Cube got overhauled, was because people wanted to keep running it and get more of it. The drawback is there's no consistency. So even though they'll try to grab things that people may say they like, there's no consistency to know when and where it's happening, which is frustrating. And that actually is really problematic for our friend Viper, who makes the calendar for us every month. And the past few months has been the worst for Viper because they release events mid through the month, meaning the calendars are like empty and look terrible. That's not Viper's fault, by the way. And let's go ahead and put those on the screen. Let's actually start with that, and then we'll start rotating into other things, other topics. So here's the calendar for this month, updated for this week, and you can see where everything is at. I need to go download the prettier version so I can zoom in a little bit more, but I just need to download it directly. I'm viewing it in the Discord browser. So we have it here, but as you can see, relatively empty to what you've seen in the past, and this is because they release events like at a weekly basis now. But we know what a lot of those events have become. They've become heroic events that they're going to release, and the excitement level for those is understandably low. Right? Understandably low. Now, some people might be doing the heroics. If you're out there doing the heroic grind missions and such, please feel free to chime in. I would love to know. But I want to hit on the arenas real quick because we were just talking about it. And the reason that I am not big on doing arenas on something like a 24-hour structure is because for now, this is your player population for arenas. And Friday night would be the 43rd there. So we've got from the 33, we've skipped some. Again, shout out to STFC.WTF helping with all this tracking. They do amazing work up there. I greatly appreciate Chrono, even if he is Dutch. The dang Dutch. That stupid orange prince. Anyway, we've got, as you see, about 5,000 is the average on a Monday, and our one sample on a Friday was down to 4. But we'll see what tomorrow brings. As y'all have heard, I've been trying to get more and more people to do PvP arenas, and I know not everybody likes or is good at it. And I will say this, if you want to know more about PvP arenas, you want to learn more about it, you want to try to be part of the effort to make it better, next week, I'm going to be doing a sit down with Scopely saying, hey, here's the feedback that we have from 2 weeks here, the ideas to make arenas better. We actually have a Discord we've made. Normally I plug my own Discord, but just letting you know we have a Discord that you can join if you want to, if for no other reasons, to be better at PvP arenas and find really good partners, as in players who are very good at arenas. There are people there just as good, if not better than me. And holy heck, Richard, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Wow, that is incredibly kind. Thank you. Wow, thank you very, very much, Mr. Richard. That is very kind. Thank you for supporting me and the channel and the family. That is incredibly kind. I greatly appreciate that. Discord link is shared in the chat. Wow, Mr. Richard, that is very, very kind. Thank you. Got me all flabbergasted and flustered. Thank you. In the chat, there's a Discord that y'all are all welcome to join, and this is free for everybody to share out. So if you join, others can join, etc. And this is a group trying to just make arenas better. And to be clear, this is not make arenas better as in just get more people to play it. One of the many things that we're arguing for is for there to be a consistent SMS running with arenas to reward you regardless of how good you are. We're also fighting for, fighting to get consistency on the scheduling of arenas. We're trying to, me personally, get the locks removed from certain items. So if you don't have Platinum 1 like Rev's accounts, whether my G5 account or my G6 accounts, then you hopefully can still get some of the rewards that you need. So trying to find a way to make arenas fun and exciting and viable for everybody, not just those of us who are really good at it and enjoy it, but also to work on removing bugs. All of this comes with trying to, get the feedback from y'all. Now, Dinwit said, Dinwit is adding, the announcement said there'll be events alongside the arena tomorrow. Do you know what those events might be? No, I do not have the details of the events, but I am celebrating that happening. The key is making that a consistent thing. It's something that we've been arguing for as content creators. Not just content creators, by the way. I want to shout out to VIP community managers, VIP moderators. A lot of people have been dropping that feedback. So my hope is as we get more and more people doing arenas, more and more people better at arenas, then we can really take those numbers of Scopely and say, hey, look, here's your group of people, reward them. And that's going to be the argument. So we'll just keep working with it. And again, if you want to join that group, the Discord is in the chat. We'll talk about it a couple times, but like right now, and I hate to be a negative Nancy. I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy, but when you've only got 4,000 people doing it in a week, that's at the point where you like really start going, is it even worth it for Scopely? And I do think there's too much good in there for it to just get tossed and thrown away. I don't want that to happen. So I would love all of your feedback. Caldon says been doing arenas every week. Hope you're enjoying it. And let's see what else we got. It'll be interesting to see the events. They're starting for the arenas tomorrow. Completely agree. And for me, and again, this has been a feedback that y'all have heard me push for a while now because I've been one of arena's most advocate defenders, but at the same time, I've called out problems where it's just simply not been good enough. And one of the things it needs is a consistent reward system like an SMS event, so that players feel like they're getting something out of it, even if they're not able to be incredibly successful by win record. Not everybody can win 90% of their matches and then just have unlimited Terran currency to play with, right? That's just not realistic. Anytime you have this type of system, most people are going to lose. That's just, or half the people are going to lose, right? That's just the nature of it. So we want to try to make it better for everybody. Now, I Choose Life says that they haven't touched arenas since it was rebalanced the first time. I would encourage you to try it again, for no other reason than to test out the stability of what's going on right now. As in the Unity 6 update, has it been made better? Are you experiencing a better experience? At the same time, I will also add this, when it comes to these numbers, the lower the number, the worse the matchmaking will be. So anybody out there saying, hey Rev, I've had trouble with the matchmaking, that's why I don't do arenas. The more people jump into it, the better the matchmaking will be. If it's only 10 people, then it's just going to be me fighting Samo constantly. It has to have the people, and it's like one of those self-fulfilling prophecies. If you say, hey, I don't play it because of the MMR, you not playing it makes the MMR worse, right? It's like Scott says long queues and horrible matchmaking keeps me away. Well, because you don't play, Scott, and others like you, there are long queues, and because they try to shorten the queues, they don't want people waiting 10, 20 minutes, right? Then they're going to pair you as a 63 with a 70. So the more people we can get into it, the better the matchmaking will be, the better the queues will be. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? And Vic Poppy says they've never done an arena need to learn. Good news. I'm happy to help you, and you can come join the Discord with us, and we got plenty of people in there who are really, really good. Ben Sai says your ships are too weak. I promise you that doesn't matter, Ben. Doesn't matter, because you can be a great support player. The support player is more important than the power player anyway. I'm just being real. The guy who can run, or the guy or gal who can run speed, the guy or gal who can keep the armadas running with their loot crews, using stings, whether it be from the GS31 or the Mantis, boosting with their Cerritos. I mean, support player is arguably the most important player anybody. And it doesn't matter. You do not have to have $2,000 worth of PvP items to be a support player in PvP arenas. So absolutely, if you feel like, hey, I'm too weak, cool. You don't need to be strong to win in PvP arenas. You just don't. Get you a good group, which is part of what the Discord is, helping you have a good group, right? Helping you find players around your level who can help you and teach you, and you can be a great support player. So that's all you need. That's all you need. Now, Sora says they've been a max arena player for a long time, but nothing new added to the store. It's mostly useless. And that's fair, Josh. I play arenas because I enjoy the camaraderie. I enjoy getting to meet people. The truth is, though, most people haven't done like I've done, which is pretty much finish that, right? Like my account there is pretty much done. But I play it because I enjoy the process. And anybody who's come to my live streams knows that When Arenas is live, whether it's Monday or Friday, we stream Arenas, and I want to get to know those people. I play with random people in my public matches. I message people, you know, the good games, because I enjoy getting to meet the people that make this game great. Because the truth is, this game, without the people, is it's a scopely game, so not a ton of enjoyment sometimes. Look at all those heroic events we haven't talked about yet. But Arenas is a great opportunity to meet more players in the game, and I love that. Richard says they play Arenas every week because I like the format, but only 10 to 20% of the matches are even remotely competitive. Now, there is an area of the game where that is, in my opinion, a struggle bus. That would be upper G6. And I just don't think that that can be balanced, just to be completely real. I'm not trying to be like negative. I'm just saying you can't really balance the mega spender level 70s with the light spender or free to play upper G6 slash G70. So for that instance, what you basically have to come down to and have is G7 rollout and spread those ops out again. But 40 through 64, I think is pretty good. But just the way it is now, because with it being almost 2 years, right? We have pure free to play who are at level 68, 69. We even have one at 2 at 70, right? They can't go against 500 billion power vengeances. And I empathize with those people. There's just no advice I can really give you unless that 70 just happens to be pretty inactive and not very good, right? But if a level 70 knows how to play Arenas and they've got the things, there's nothing I can do to help you. And that is a subset of the players that I have sympathy and empathy for. But for everybody else, I can't help you. I can guarantee I can help most people. I just can't help all people. So, yeah. Don't know where to even start being a support player? Great news, EM. Right here. I'm the guy that you talk to. And join that Discord. We'll teach you. There are a lot of great PvPers in the Discord. Not just like the super whales, like just level 40s who are really good. Being a support player is not hard. It is something that you have to learn. But as most people in that Discord will tell you, PvP Arenas comes down to tactics more than anything. So there are a lot of good things and tips to learn. I do have a 5-tip video about PvP Arenas, and a lot of that is about being a support player if you want to check that out. But beyond that, there are definitely ways that we can help make it better and more gooder. I want to help you be gooder. And I want to help you get rewards too, because that's the thing. That Terran faction has got great rewards. For if you're a player going into G6, for example, we talked about the value of getting the Stasis Globe that just came out with a free-to-play path this week. Right, the Stasis Globe is really good for you. I'm going to actually switch accounts so we can go take a look at the Stasis Globe. We're going to pull up the level 60 account, take a look at the Stasis Globe. Right, so that's a great way to prepare for G6. You know another great way to prepare for G6? Getting the G6 Innovative Engineering, which lowers the cost, right? That's a great way. So you got the Stasis Globe that you can earn here through the aggregation loop. We can pull that up here and I can show you what that actually does. It's a Chaos technology. And Stasis Globe, maxed out. Base hazard resistance for everything, right? So that's a phenomenal thing to be able to have going into G6. And just like the innovative engineering is a great thing to have to go into G6, right? So even if you're going into G5, there are a lot of value points that I'd stress are great for people. Obviously, I do say that if you don't enjoy something, ignore. So if you're listening right now and you're saying, hey, I'm not part of the PvP crowd, I don't care, don't worry, completely fine. We'll hit other topics today. I'm not trying to force people to like it. We're saying there's a lot of value and there is fun to be had. It's just finding your spot. And as Star Trek Fleet Command is known for, they don't teach you how to do anything. Like nothing about PvP Arenas teaches you how to be a support player, how to be a PvP player in terms of a power player. It doesn't teach you any of that. It just says, hey, now you can go fly. Yep, that's all they do. And that's not super helpful and can be very, very frustrating. So, be extremely frustrating. Richard says, Rev helped me for years to get to top 70. Thank you, Richard. I'm glad I'm helping you. I greatly appreciate you coming in here, being here, and supporting the channel. Thank you very much. King says they've had great success as a Battle Pass only purchaser as a level 68 by spreading the levels, doing 68, 64, 60, and they went 8-0 last week. And if you remember, King, that's actually one of the things that I talk about in my 5 tips video, is to manipulate the operations level, which lowers your matchmaking a bit in terms of the ops matching. So in this case, you're using the 4s to your advantage, right? So that can make it more likely for that 68 to go against more like 64s and 66s than getting up tiered into a 70. Because if you had a group that was 68, 69, 70, or 68, 69, 64, chances are you're going to run into a 70. So, yeah. Scott says they want a PvP, just want to get better. And hey, Scott, again, this is a system that you can take advantage of because we have 64s and 60s. Well, I guess for you, 65s and 61s that you can partner with. There's a 61 that I play with and I've done matches with, has 500% ISO, more than most level 69s and 70s. Like, there are some people that are so dedicated to PvP. They've gone above and beyond, like, what normal people would do. So we could, that's another thing, is the hope with this Discord is to help people find partners that they can play with so that they're not just randomly matching with people who also don't know what they're doing and just leads to frustration. It's to make everybody better. And then of course to also get events with PvP arenas happening consistently. It's also to get a consistent schedule for it. All these are the goals that we have to do that. I'm gonna grab some of these comments. I don't want to miss them. Tular says arenas in G6 are totally different ball game compared to G5. Again, it depends, Tular. I play in G6 arenas. I have accounts in G6 that other players will let me log into, Scopely. You're not gonna know what they are, and I use a VPN, so you can't find me. But it depends. Like I said, I have 68, 69, 66s who are completely okay and beat 70s, right? So it's all about finding your group. It's all about finding your tactics and then going from there. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's perfect, especially the higher you get to 70, the more difficult that process becomes. But I do think that every person in this chat, everybody watching right now, over 200 of y'all on a random Thursday, you didn't even know the stream was happening. Everybody here can win, all of you. If you're level 40 and above, we can get you some wins. I cannot tell you that we can get you 80% win rate, but I can definitely get you wins and get you a group of people that help you find why people like Rev enjoy arenas. I can guarantee that happens. Just can't guarantee that you're going to win every match. Now I'm not that egotistical, but I do think that I can make the experience better for you and by extension, make the game better for you. So anyway, speaking of heroic, says James, being paid events or how the current one, all right, speaking of heroic events being paid events, how are the current ones paid events without specialship? Because you have to buy the prototype tech to significantly reduce the amount of hostiles that you need to hit. So that's the heroic of that. If you look in the second box of the description, they want you to go buy all the prototype techs. Now, that's still not a good format, if you're asking my personal opinion, but that's the heroic level of it. It's not just grind your butt off. It's, you got to go grind your butt off, but we'll make it easier if you spend $100. Or spend $200, you know. I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm saying here's what they're doing. So it depends on how much work you're willing to put into it. I know plenty of G6 players who are grinding it and not spending a dime on it, and they're just doing the grind. I've said that if any grind asks me to kill more than, you know, at most 80 hostiles, I'm not doing it. That's just me personally. Not everybody's going to agree with Rev on that. And that's fine. But if I look at an event and it tells me that I need to grind 800, 1,000, or even 200 hostiles, I'm going to give it a big old fat not happening. Who is trying to call me? I think it's one of my doctors. Well, we'll worry about that later. Not going to answer that on stream. So let's take a look at the field work. Defeat aggregation hostiles. So like where I'm at right now, you know, like hitting 59s. Well, 455 divided by 21. That's not terrible. Now, that's also how many trips is that going to take? Because that plays into it. You know, how high can you hit? And then how many trips is it going to take? Now, keep in mind that you're looking at a G5. The G6 players are the ones that really are getting killed when it comes to this. I've only got to kill 22, but that's still like, what, 8 trips for me, 6 trips for me. But when you get to the, in fact, I don't have one pulled up. One of my G6 players in chat, send me a screenshot of yours so we can show people what y'all are having to face. Because when they design events around you hitting the hostile for your level. So that means if you're level 67, they're basically expecting you to do the epic part of this loop. It's crazy. All right. So you get to the G4, G5, and a lot of our players like, okay, it's annoying. I have to repair a few times, but it's not terrible. It's when my G6 players start, you know, putting in the screenshots that it gets really bad. And Viper looks like he's the first one to send me one. Here we go. Here's Viper's. Here, I'll put it on the screen. And anybody else who wants to send theirs, especially if you get a higher number. Let's see who can get who's the highest level with the worst experience. Ready? Rotate. Here's Viper's 3,300 points. And remember, the points stay the same. Right? The points aren't changing. The amount that you get per hit stays the exact same. So 3,300, who goes higher? Tular, appreciate it. You're not higher. Who goes higher? All right, here's, I think Bond's the level 70. Here's Bond's 36.6K, right? I think that's going to be, I think that's as high as it goes, is 36, right? Look at that. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call fun. Yes, this is very fun. Very fun. Here, let's do some math. So let's assume that Bond here could hit the level 70s. Let's just assume he could. Like, he's paid for the packs. Remember, you have to pay the packs to get the building, to be able to have the building high enough to be able to hit the hostiles. Let's just assume he could hit that. So 36,600 divided by 987 is still 37 hostiles. So still double what I have to do. That's assuming he paid for everything to get his building maxed out, or I'm sorry, it's not maxed out. You have to get the building to level 67 so that he can then go grind the epics. That's assuming he did that, which most people, shocker, didn't do that. So that means more likely he's got to go grind like the 59s, which are 21 points apiece. Or if he spent on what, one pack, he can do the rares, and that'll help a little bit, but let's just say he's doing the 59s. 1,743 hostiles. That's so, hey, what else are you doing? What else are you doing? You've got nothing going on. You've got nothing going on. You can go grind 1,743 hostiles. You could do it. Why are you griping and complaining? Huh? Why are you griping? Here, let's just say that he's hitting the 66s. Bond, I don't know which ones you're hitting. I'm just pointing out math because it's fun. 36,600 divided by 144. That's what you would get by doing the 66s. That's still 255 hostiles. So that's still, and it would have cost you to get the building to level 61, which is what you need to hit the rares. That would have cost $500 US, I believe. That's $500 US to hit the 66s. And that would still make you have to hit 255. So yeah, if you're wondering why all of our G6 players are up in arms, complaining, griping, there you go. And we've had several players just sent me their screenshots. Shout out to Tular, JG, Ultra Vetica, Sandra. Thank y'all all for sharing. Viper. But just to get, if y'all are curious why, you know, the G6 players are so loudly complaining about that event, it's because they've got this and we've got this. And even this is annoying because I have to repair my ship multiple times, which means it just takes time. And that's like, I don't like that. So if you were curious why there's been gripe about the heroics, with the fact that it feels like the heroics get harder every day as well, that is why. And that's why it's not fun, which is why I'm so big of saying ignore FOMO and don't worry about it, because the truth is you can have fun. You can have fun. You just got to ignore some of the things that the game gives you. You just got to ignore some of the things the game gives you, and then you can have fun. So, Op 66, 412 hostiles or 103 trips. It's a lot. See, that's gross. That's gross. Sloppy says they're using 5 ships. And look, I admire the people who are willing to put forth the effort, but at the same time, Sloppy, let me tell you a dirty secret. It's your fault this happens. Let me tell you why. Hold on. Before you get mad at Rev, there's a logic to why I'm saying you're at fault, and I'm blaming you forever, and everybody should blame you and shame you. Here, come closer. Here. Scopely tracks participation rates. Doesn't matter if you spent it or you did it. If it shows a high completion rate and that people are doing it, they're going to do it again. Oh, I'm sorry. It's your fault. It just is what it is. Okay. It's not your fault, Sloppy. I'm just making a point. I love you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. All right. But they do track metrics, and that's something that they, and anybody who's talked to Scopely, it doesn't matter if you're a VIP who has a handler or if you're a content creator or a mod, everybody has probably heard the same things. Our metrics show, like our numbers in-house show. We see players doing this, and all of us go, what do you mean? What do you mean people are doing it? We're always flabbergasted. Well, it's because there are people out there like Bon, John D, and Sloppy who maybe not willing to spend, but they'll go out and do the grind. And those metrics then get translated into, well, if this amount of people are doing it, we're going to do this. So, but at the same time, like, if people are enjoying that, like, here's why I'll say this. Bon Jondi really enjoys grinding 1,700 hostiles. I don't understand why. I've gotten to know Bon Johnny for about 2 years now. He legitimately enjoys grinding 2,000 hostiles. He does. He's like, look, I've got nothing going on right now. I want to do this. More power to him. I don't understand that paradigm, but I respect his right to have it. Some people just enjoy that. Others of us do not enjoy that. So for me, like I said, if it's more than 80 hostiles at most, I prefer my events to be around 20 to 40. I just won't do it. So I typically will ignore that level of grind event. And if that means I miss out on an event meta or something like that, I'm okay with it. But that's also how I managed to keep this cheery disposition, this beautiful ginger beard staying without all those white hairs in it. And I'm about to turn 36 years old. Go look at pictures of 36-year-olds from like 18, 25. I feel great right now. So you just got to ignore FOMO, have fun sometimes. Now, Sloppy says using 5 ships is an awful experience, fighting lag more than ever. Yikes, I'm sorry to hear that. I've not experienced a ton of lag since the Unity update, and I'm grateful for that. But I still have my Kashara breaking, which is fantastic. So, Alexi says, I'm fine with hostiles being more, but the amount they want is absurd and the rewards are an insult. And see, that also comes down to it because here, again, how they design events is you hitting a hostile near your level. It's like when they look at Bon Johnny at level 70, in their brain, they go, well, sorry, I clicked the wrong one. That's the onboarding one. In their brain, they go, well, he should be hitting level 70s. And honestly, if you math it out with the level 70s, it's not terrible. But how many people at level 70 are willing to bust out their Gengar wallet like Rev Deuce is and fork over the mad money to be able to do that week 2 of this launch? There are some. Most are not. And then we end up in like this discussion where we're talking about why we're frustrated, what problems we're having, etc. Right? Also, I need to make sure that I'm attending this. Let me go look at that real quick. Uno momento, por favor, chat. I got to make sure that territory 1 day, 5 hours. Okay. I don't remember when my next one is on server 710, but I got to do that. Jonathan says, I'm using the grind to level up ships as well. I'll have G5 ships ready to scrap in 2028 when it comes out. Sounds like a solid plan because you don't need to use your best ship here. Speaking of who's drifting? Oh, an Enterprise D. It's the Silent Warrior. Completely logical. Makes sense. I wouldn't shake a stick at that. Completely logical. Don't forget the Vindicator event. Yeah, so I do my Vindicator event by running solos. So I'm going to grab my board cube and I'll do it that way. Oh, I put her on an away team. Well, no cheesing for now. So what we'll do is we'll just swap this real quick. Get our board cube out. We'll go do our Vindicator event. Let's go grab that up here. Nope, wrong ship. There we go. All right, back to chat. Are the targets similar to those when they launched augments? I remember similar arguments being about targets then. Define what you mean by similar. What's the fastest way to level up from level 15? I don't know if you got my first one. The fastest way to level up your ops is just to level up the ops. I mean, it doesn't take very long. Progression through your missions will give you a lot of the resources that you need at that low level. And then progressing through ops doesn't take too long. Not just to get to 15. Now you can make that process take 2 or 3 days. I can do it in one night, but I'm speed running the missions to make that happen. So if you're just trying to get to ops 15. There's also a brand new battle pass at low levels that can also speed it up. So check out your battle pass events at that low level. That also drastically speeds it up. So people complain about how many ships they needed to hit. Yeah, so again, that was an issue with Wrath of Khan. And I've said it pretty loudly for the past few months. I believe the past 4 or 5 months have not been bad content, like the actual features that roll out. Like, I don't believe that Augment Exile space is bad. I don't believe that the actual loop of this brand new hostile is bad, right? It's the events that have been bad. It's the events that have been problematic. Specifically the events that have been a problem. Because an over-reliance on heroics, really high numbers and metrics and expectations, that to me has been the big issue. Now, if you disagree with that, you're more than welcome to share your disagreements here. I personally believe that this loop is fine. I love this loop in terms of like what they normally come out with. I'm very big on this, right? This is a literal 5 minute or less a day loop. Like, that's good. It's the events that are just like, oh, I'm so tired of these events. You know what I mean? I got to reset a node real quick. 1 second. Uno momento, por favor, while I get this Nova and reset it. There we go. Back on the node. Get to mining. They really need to have a standard target of hostiles to hit for each ops range and structure the events according to that number. Well, here's the thing, Robert. They do that. The problem is, do we agree with their numbers? Like what we were just talking about, the G6 players. They did do that. But they're doing it with the expectation of John hitting 70s, right? The problem is they are baking into their cake the expectation of a certain level of spend if you're a certain level of player. And that's just like the thing that you have to deal with depending on the ops that you've moved to. They do that. But that doesn't change that we're frustrated with how they do it, right? Is it fair that we have hundreds of people who are pure free to play in G6 now that have to deal with the expectation of spending? No, but that's the problem that's the realization you come to when you get into the premium area. So Moopsy says all the complaining would have been fixed if they had just done what they did with Augment and have the beetles count for 10 times the value. That's completely fair. That's a solid point. That's a solid point, because then it would also have brought value to the other systems, right? So for those that don't know, there are loot goblins in these new systems. And if you had made the scoring to where chasing the loot goblins gave you a modifier, then you would have had a reason to go to any of these systems and chase the loot goblins. That's not the case this time around. I think that's a solid point there, Moopsy. Good to see you, by the way. How is Satisfactory treating you? Hopefully, satisfactory. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. So, it's not the same number of hostiles. Even if a 70 were to hit 70s, that's not the same number that I have to hit. Again, you have to bake in the cost of what their expectation is for you to buy the building and the prototype. That's what they're baking in. Spending levels. That's what they're baking in. Now, I'm not telling you to spend, Robert. In fact, out of defiance, I don't think you should. I think you should do the opposite of spend. I think you should save. Yeah, but that's what they're doing. When they come to these numbers, there is a math to it. It's not arbitrarily just picking 36,600 and pulling it out their wazoo and pasting it into the events. It is a calculation. Now, we as a community need to find ways to argue against that calculation and get them to change it. But they're not pulling numbers out their butt. They are calculating specific numbers. That's the thing. Like, it's not like an incompetence issue. Although sometimes there are. This is a we math out things specifically issue, and how does the player base fight against it to get it changed? That's my goal. How do I get it changed? Joanne says, on a different topic, what's your thoughts on the Treasury? Have they gone back to the old format, or is it still short? Well, as I maybe didn't do a good enough job of explaining this, but as I tried to explain, that was a special Treasury, specifically for Winadami. And they're testing to see if they can get more sales that way with the special Treasury. That didn't mean that it was always going to change this one, but they might change the Treasury around if the format was super popular. My opinion on this is I don't have an opinion. Like, I would much rather get this Treasury than the Winadami Treasury. Mostly because I would much rather have some shards of Strange World Scotty. I don't have Specialist 7 yet. I would much rather have this Treasury, which is an Interceptor Pack-based Treasury. I would much rather have this one, but you got a test Treasury to see if they could sell more Winadami. That's what that was. Now, will they move to that format permanently? Honestly, that really depends on the amount of conversion they got from it. If they got a lot of people spending on that, sure, there might have been people like James Vega complaining about it because they didn't get as much. But if they sold a lot, maybe they will. That's something we'll have to wait and see on. Now, my feedback I've already given. I showed y'all what my feedback was for it, that my community very loudly said they didn't like it overall. We'll just have to wait and see if that ends up, happening again. If Scopely found that they were making money from it more than they were the traditional way of selling an officer, then they might continue doing that format. So we have to wait and see. Sherlock says, don't know how accurate their data will be when it's a trash officer. Again, it's relative, right? How many people, Sherlock, I think you were at the stream. How many people did we have on the stream talking about this say, yeah, I got it because I wanted the officer? We had a lot of G6 players who did that. Major Mad was one of the ones that was, saying, hey, I specifically did this because of the officer. So it just depends. I don't know what those metrics are going to be. I don't know. I did like that if you were free to play, that Treasury did not have a spending lock. It only had an operations lock. And I would love for them to transfer that back to the regular Treasury. Like, I would like the regular Treasury to have the same effect where if you were not a spender, you still saw the same max Treasury. We'll see if that happens. Again, that's feedback I've provided. And generally when they take feedback, you're not going to see it change for weeks until they've decided and deliberated and had several meetings around 20 different people. It's very annoying. It's very annoying. Miss Joanne says they bought the Win Treasury, not for the shards, but for the Latinum. The Latinum in this one is the same. Yeah, Latinum is fine. I mean, if you want to purchase it for the Latinum, it's certainly better than most Latinum packs in that regard. It's your money, spend it how you want to. It's your money, spend it how you want to. Nothing wrong with the logic. And if that ends up being how they go forth in the future, we'll go from there. We'll kind of cross that bridge when we get there. Hey, Katina, good to see you. I'm planning to jump to 61 this month. Should I wait for the 61 Treasury or just get one now? Personally, if you have a free Treasury waiting, I would hit that up when you get there. That's just me. If for no other reason, Katita, I know you're a big PvPer. Well, when you get into G6, you're going to want to be able to move your cube up, right? Just like Fred did. Well, to do that, you're going to need ship parts. You're going to need ship parts. You're going to need Sigma Tritanium. So I would wait. I would absolutely wait. Not only would I would wait to do your free Treasury in G6 and specifically do the ship parts Treasury in G6. So that's what I would do. If for no other reason, depending on when you decide to redeem it and how fast you decide to move, if for no other reason, the Sigma materials and resources, just to prep you for where you're going to be heading in terms of wanting to upgrade the cube, which requires you upgrading faction ships, and go from there. And that way, you hit the ground running. Also, be careful how much you level up, because then you're going to get too far away from me and we can't PvP anymore. You can't beat me up anymore. And won't that make you sad? Won't that make you sad? Good to see you. By the way, the Discord that we're in, been trying to get more and more people to join it. I think we got about, maybe 20 people joined. And if you're coming in late, we talked about the PvP stuff already, but we have a specific Discord designed around a couple things. Number one, helping you find a better team. That way you're not just matching up with pubs and losing. Number two, giving better consistent feedback to the dev team to have consistent events with PvP arenas, to have a consistent schedule with arenas, to have better reward system with arenas. All that is being worked on in the Discord. So if you want to be a part of that, join in. There's the link. Not required, but if you want to be a part of that, you're more than welcome. You joined last Friday. They're good people. Yeah, I've been talking to Justin and several other leaders for a while. And if I can get more people in and grow PvP arenas and make it better for everybody, that's a huge W. Because Scopely's not doing it. Scopely's not out here making PvP Discords and trying to get everybody involved. They're not doing anything for that. They just exist. So Brian says, whereas my Dolphin Spender Admiral decided to stop spending with that Treasury, being the straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah, that's what happens, man. Individual experiences are anecdotal. Total experience of the whole group, those are the numbers that we don't have access to. I wish we did. We can only try to infer what we can. But because there's not like an event, well, we can't use STFC.space to track spending on treasuries and stuff, right? So we just have to kind of play it by ear, and then as they do an update, we can provide feedback on that update and just go from there. And I will give y'all all the information that I get. Welcome in, JG. All right. Viper says the C of A event for today needs updating with the GS31 and the Reliant parts. I think that's fair. Yeah, I would agree. And yes, James, it does. Let's see. Normal Treasury comes with Sigma speed ups. In my opinion, better than the ship parts one. I mean, I guess it depends on what you need, Mark. For me, Again, that's not a bad point. For me though, it's if you're willing to do the mirror grind, which a lot of people are, and if you've done the mastery artifacts, if you're going into G6 now, the speed ups are not as much of an issue as they were a year ago. Again, that's very relative, so don't take Rev saying it's not an issue. But if you've been doing the mastery artifacts and you're doing your mirror grind, those speed ups aren't as much of a draw for like Gatito, who's going to 61, as it was a year ago. Still very relative, right? And absolutely still at a point where it can absolutely be a pain point or a pinch point, but it's becoming easier and easier now, which is a good thing, right? We do want the economy to adjust. We do want to be able to say, hey, we're getting this now. We weren't getting it before. There was a paywall here. Now it's gone. That is good. So it just depends on where you're at. I'd say the biggest paywall / biggest pinch point still in G6 has got to be Sigma Tritanium. That is still like one of the hardest things to do. And even then, there are things coming out in the next couple months that in theory could really help that. I mean, imagine if you could, target Sigma Tritanium and, go after it. So like, we'll see what that looks like even 2-3 months from now. But I would say Sigma Trit is still the primary issue for the average player in G6. When you start needing, 4 million Sigma Tritanium per part to upgrade your ship, and you can't make your board cube better until you do that, well, that takes time even for spenders. So, and if you have a different experience in chat, feel free to share it. We welcome all experiences here. Admiral Pegasus, they've got everything they need to build an Akira and send it to tier 6. However, it's the speed ups that actually need to tier it up. And that's where using your mastery artifacts and going into that mirror grind pays off. So, Ultra says, can confirm Sigma Trit and my lack thereof makes me sad. Yeah, that's still, in my opinion, the biggest pain point left in G6. The materials are a little bit easier to get the uncommons and the rares. The speed ups have gotten easier to acquire. The Sigma Par still has gotten easier in terms of like the events that pay out things. If I had to put one big pain point that still exists is the high number of Sigma Trit, because remember, we've been talking about for a lot of you players years not needing to take ships past tier 5 a lot of times, like the faction ships, maybe take it to tier 7. Well, that's not the case in G6. In G6, to have the full experience, you've got to take your ships to tier 9 or higher, right? Like your Crenshaw, if you're a level 70, you have to max it out, because if you don't max it out, you don't get the cube. Like you don't get the cube to like ridiculous levels, right? So things change in G6. They've designed things that mean you can't take some of the advice that we've been using for years into G6. If you decide, hey, I'm only going to take faction ships to tier 5 in G6, well, you're going to have a problem. You have a little bit of an issue. So it's just finding what works for you and working around those, pinch points that they purposely designed. Because obviously, if you need Sigma Trit, they're hoping that Ultra decides, I'm not going to buy another cardigan, right? I'm going to avoid the cardigans on Amazon. I don't need them. I'm going to go buy a pack. That's what they're hoping. So, Velox is tier 12 now, which I save while you save for your Crenshaw. Yeah, there you go, right? And it's just a different way to play efficiently. And in G6, faction ship tiers are much more important than faction ship tiers in G4. You just have to adjust your play style to that. It's just the nature of the game. A cardigan made out of Sigma Trit? You're giving me merch ideas, Ultravetica. You're giving me merch ideas right now. You better be careful. Other thoughts, comments, questions, everybody, about our topics. PvP arenas, talking about the heroic events, and everything going on right now. The away teams that I'm running in the background, we haven't really talked about, but I also want to make sure that y'all know the floor is open for us to discuss what y'all's topics are, not just my topics for the day. So, where's the link? The link to what, Neil? The link to what? My heart, it's on my website, revdeuce.com. It's on my website, revdeuce.com. So, arena-related events are launching tomorrow, Vic. Friday, tomorrow, is our next arena run. You should be able to go into your little button down here at the bottom. Well, I just lost my game. Where'd my game go? There it goes. Hit your button. 1 day, 3 hours. All right. Can you show what crews you use for Elite Solo Waves? same ones that were in my video, Kova. I mean, my Strange New World, my Strange New World crew, my Voyager crew, Enterprise E crew, same crews as my video all those times ago. Big thing is getting your GS31 updated. And once your GS31 hits about right at tier 8, right at tier 8, it can then handle the final wave of the G5 Elite Solo. Now, it is possible to beat it prior. It is possible to beat that prior before why does this look so ugly? It's just me, or does this render look completely off right now? It is possible. Yeah, that render looks terrible. To do it prior, but you're probably going to have to rely on things like boosting. You know, max fortification, Cerritos boosting, etc. If you want to do it easy mode, two things to help with easy mode. One, get the Mirror Prime particles that are in the event store right now at the Ferengi store. And two, get your GS31 to tier 8, and that's going to help with the level 5 of that of that G5 Elite Solo. So, you're dropping a video today? I dropped a video yesterday, so no, not one today. That's why we're doing the stream today, to make up for it. A little bit of a topsy-turvy week. Just got your GS31 today. Oh, well, congratulations on just getting your GS31. You got a little bit to go before it's going to help you with the G5 Elite waves. So in that case, what I would say is if you've got tier 11 epics and stuff like that, then what you really want to do is do focus on your crewing, which this is not going to be one of them. That's an Armada crew, but this is one of my crews that I run. You can also do full Anoraks. Depends on what you have, but more importantly, what tiers those officers are. That really matters, because a tier 1 officer, depending on, especially Strange New Worlds, it's not going to be as good as having your Voyager officers that are maxed out. Should be maxed out in G5, just point that out. That's going to be huge. Now, there are other things, like the man is throwing out the Gila artifact. I'm always big on artifacts. I don't think it helps that much, but I mean, more is more. Anything you can do is more. Let's see if I can find it real quick and eyeball it. Probably easier if I went through the other menu, but where is it? I don't see it. I am blind. Chat's going to see it and be like, Rev, you're passing it. There it is. Found it. So, a little bit of a help. Little base weapons damage boost. If you've not maxed that out, that will help. 2,000%, I guess, is not terrible. It's not what it used to be, but that does help out. Remember, every wave research / favor works in solo waves. So like all the favors that you'll see in the mirror tree and stuff like that, or I'm sorry, the research in the mirror tree, the favors you'll see that were designed when like the regular solo waves and the regular waves came out, they work in elite waves. So all that stuff does compile and make things easier. So now I'm upper G6. Some of these SLB / SMSs we have, a lot of the scoring things for it, I've already maxed them, like mirror research. Yeah, that is something that several people run into. And even on like the spin material events, you'll have people who are up in G6 who are building more. I know several G6. There might be some here. How many G6 players in the chat right now are sitting on like 5 or 6 maxed G5 epics? Like, who here has like 3 Enterprise Ds and 4 Rotarans and 7 Daredexes that they all upgraded just to spend on the previous scorings of SLB and SMS events? And that's one of the big reasons a lot of those players want scrapping. So, all right. Just one of each G5 epic, easy for elite solo waves. There you go. What ships do you got? All of them. There's no ship I don't have in my level besides the 2 faction miners in G5, just because I've seen no reason to get them. But I've got everything else. There's no ship I'm lacking. I do need to go mine some ISO, though. I actually don't need to mine ISO. I don't even know why I said that, because I can just redeem ISO in the faction store. I need to go redeem ISO. Kia says they have one of each, but I also hoard my faction credit so I can get the bigger ships because you need so many. Now, that is something that one of the reasons I've not gotten all the ships. For those that don't know, I personally save or am saving a lot of my faction credits because I want to be able to get all 3 of the G6 uncommons on this account It's just simply to get the hazard research. I want to make sure I can afford that, as well as plan on getting at least 2 Selkies. So as much as I'm not a fan of mining, Scopely sure is making me have to mine with a lot of these loops. So I plan on getting 2 Selkies. You want to see how many G5 epics and rares I have? Actually, I would, Sniper Time. Send me a screenshot so I can make everybody else jealous who doesn't even have one yet of all the ones that you're just cooking to put in your museum. Feel free to send me a picture, Sniper, so that we can make everybody in chat jealous of how rich you are, and we're going to tax you to death. That's what we need to happen. Yeah, billionaires like you shouldn't exist, but send me a picture so we can show everybody all the cool things that you have. Can you go over the hazard research and why you need the uncommon G6 ships? Simple. There are hazard researches in your tree that require the G6 uncommon ships to unlock. Each one unlocks a new research. Simple as that. Simple as that. So that's why you get each of them. Now, some people have debated the need for that. Personally, I'm of the mind that that is the best way to go to just make gameplay smooth. But each ship unlocks research for hazard resistance. And I just think, generally speaking, that's the best way to go about it. Also, Viper, you enjoy your War Thunder dailies. I'm very excited about unlocking the Prussian ship in War Thunder. For those that don't know, Rev's got Prussian heritage, and I'm excited about that. So, excited about that. Now, Austin says the hazards in G6 aren't that bad. The special ships like the GS-31 make them a non-issue. There are definitely people, and I'm glad you spoke up. I'm absolutely happy for people to provide their opinions on that. I am of the mind also, I hate playing this game with nothing but specialty ships. I just don't like it. I don't think it's fun. I don't think a lot of people would enjoy that. I think most people came to this game because of Star Trek, and even though some of these specialty ships have had like one-off appearances in Star Trek, like the Mantis, right, stuff like that, I don't find that fun. Like, I want to play Star Trek with my Akira because I watched it in DS9. Like, I want to play Star Trek with my Enterprise E. And just so players can have choices, I think it's best to pick that up. You could be ultra efficient and do all kinds of things. For example, you can completely skip the uncommon and rare ships in G6 if you wanted to. It's possible. And ride nothing but things like relativities and GS31s all the way to 70. You could, but I would argue that the average player out there would hate that. That would ruin the thing that made this game great for them. So, anyway, is there a prototype FT for PvE? Yes, there's actually, well, there's one for PvE and one for mining, Josh. Here, real quick, I want to put on the screen what our good friend Sniper shared. Look at this. Shared 4 maxed out Enterprise Ds, 5 maxed out Rotarans, and can't even see how many maxed out Daenerydexes they have. Who's jealous? I know I am. Rev's raising his hand. Who's jealous? Yep. If y'all were curious, this is what G6 players have been doing to make sure they score in their events because, well, they can't just max out their Velox. So yeah, look at that. Who's jealous? I'm very jealous. Very jealous. Look at all those. Just, jeez. Jeez. Thank you, Sniper, for keeping this game free to play because I guarantee you at least 2 of these were paid for. That's a lot. Hey, here's what I need you, Sniper. Sniper, I need you to make 3 more max Rotarans. I need you to send me a picture of your base just covered in Rotarans. That's what I need, Sniper. I need 8 docks and 8 max Rotarans, okay? Make it happen. I'm giving you something to work on. I know you're bored right now up in high-level gameplay. You don't know what you're going to do. I just gave you your next goal. I want to see 8 Rotarans and a dock maxed out. Travis, good to see you. Welcome in. Hope you're having a great day. Ring around the Rotaran. I love it. I love that. Absolutely love it. All right, let me go ahead and repair this. We're going to send it back out and mine more of the goodies because yay, transigen. Yay, transigen. Hope you're feeling better. Thank you, Travis. I greatly appreciate that. I'm definitely doing better. I'd even go as far as say I'm 100% now. I still have like a little bit of healing left, but like the stitches are dissolved. I'm speaking fine. I'm breathing fine. So yeah, I'm good to go. I'm good to go. No more excuses for Rev. He can't pretend like he's dying anymore. I've made it through. I am officially good to go. Thank you for asking. I appreciate people caring. It means a lot. So let's swap this out. Yep. Group. Get Rachel Garrett up here. And we've got to do a little bit more grinding. So we're actually going to swap you out. And we're going to go put this in because it needs to auto grind. Yay, auto grinding. All right, Valhalla says I got all 3 of the 68 miners at tier 4. Do you recommend taking them higher, especially with transition? The only reason to take them higher, personal opinion, is based on warp range. If there's somewhere you want to go that you can't reach right now, and you don't want to bother summoning there with like your Eviscerator or well, depending on where you're going, Eviscerator is not going to help too much. But if you need the warp range, then yes. If you need the warp range, then yes. Do you need it though? Like, as in, would it hurt you if you kept them at tier 4? No, you'd be fine. You're just saving mats for your more important ships. Question though, do you have the gold skin on them? I know that's random, had nothing to do with what you're talking about, but do you have the gold skin on them? Random question for you. All right. Let's see, just trying to make sure I'm not missing questions. There's a lot of comments. Also, I've got some nasal drip again, which is great. Is the GS31 gated with one-off materials like the warp cores for the Franklin? So it has some mats that are gated, yeah. But you can still progress through the game and free to play and get those. Where are other G5s getting all these epic blueprints that Scopely's complained about people scrapping? What do you mean? Like the ship blueprints? Armadas, the DTI faction. Like, I'm already about to build another one. I think I'm actually about to build 2. Just from doing Armada pulls and the DTI pulls. That's it. Like, that isn't accounting like if you decided to spend faction credits on them or whatever. I mean, they just kind of start paying out in droves. Hold on, let me freeze this hostile and I'll show you. Where's it at? I gotta Picard maneuver this first. What was Eco's intent behind the 3-day slog of events? That's easy. Sell prototype tech. Easy peasy. Give me a hard question next time. You didn't see the word heroic on that? That's to sell prototype tech. There you go. Rev's got all the answers. Bam! All right, set this here. Now I'll come in here and show you this faction. Yeah, those events are optional and I would ignore them. That's what I did. So anyway, you come in here and then you have like your formation victory chest. I routinely pull the 20s here. You see I've got 410 to another Rotaran, so I'm 2/3 of the way there. I'm 2/3 of the way to another Enterprise D and around halfway to a Daenerys, doing nothing but pulling these chests. And then, you know, so he's got this formation chest and then you've got the Armada chest. I've not spent anything else. Like, I've not been doing... I've got 1.5 million Federation credits right here, but like I've not been secretly building another one in here. It's just doing chest pulls. I could definitely get another one at this point, but it's just been doing chest pulls. Josh is sorry I missed it, but is there a proto Forbidden Tech for PvE? Yes, there is one. There is one, but I mean, I wouldn't recommend go out and buy it just so you complete this event. Just personal opinion. I wouldn't recommend go out and buy it, but there is one free to play. I'm sorry, one PvE, FT 2.0, PT, however we want to word that. Jump into here. It is called this one. Yeah, the Orion Syndicate Bomb. The Orion Syndicate Bomb gives you a warp range boost, ship XP boost, fighting or getting a reputation boost, and then there's a loot boost for regular hostiles. Syndicate Bomb. There is also the self-replicating mines, which is PvP. There's the Harvester, which is a mining one. There is the counterplay device, and then the Romulan mines. Those are, so counterplay, Romulan, self-replicating PvP. Harvester is a mining one, and then the rare one is a PvE one. And that becomes available at level 51 with the building. When I move it from 42, is it 45 or 46 I should be looking at? For me, I would say 46, because that's going to give you your faction ship. You've got a few more researches that open up. Obviously, you're going to be able to, you know, move up your Specialty ships at level 45, you get access to rare materials in your refinery. But again, you can go ahead and hit to 46 and have the same thing. So I would sit at 46 if you're moving up. I usually go 42, 46, and then 50. Kind of following where the faction ships drop. So. All right, let's see. I rarely get the uncommon ones out of that pulls. Never got any epic. Well, I mean, RNG is a fickle beast, Braste. I'm not going to lie about it, but again, I can show you mine. You show me yours. So scroll on over. You see I've got uncommons I can build. I never built a Crozier, but I'm almost at a Crozier. You see I'm almost ready to build another set of epics. So, sadly, no USS Vengeance blueprints for Rev, though. But they are making this thing a heck of a lot cheaper to upgrade, and we've been arguing to make it cheaper to get. I was talking to Scopely a couple days ago about making an SLB instead of an RLB to get those blueprints. So I'm fighting for the good fight. Fighting for the good fight. And then, of course, you have your regular pulls. If you're coming here doing your G5 pulls, which you see I need to do, this also is another way to get those blueprints with a technical chance. In fact, is there anybody in chat right now who has full pulled any of these? Because there is a 0.01% chance. It is possible. It is technically possible. Has anybody done it? Anybody in chat actually full pulled one of these ships? We used to have, back when the ISS Jelly was still, really big, we used to have people talk all the time about, hey, I'm one of the people who pulled the ISS Jelly. Yep, there you go. There's one. Valhalla says they full pulled it to Daradex after they had already maxed their first Daradex. That's what we like to see. Now, that is some good Scopely RNG. That's the good stuff. You gotta full pull it after you've already got it. I mean, duh. There you go. That's the disappointment that we've come to know and love from this wonderful game. And thank you for sharing. Absolutely love that. Any Cool says, I'm sitting on 48,000 Fed credits, 41 Intrepid charge. Should I wrap the Intrepid up to start pushing the G3 Epics and AT store, or should I just keep the credits for whatever else? I mean, if you have 48,000 Federation credits, I would just go to level 34 and build an Enterprise. Like if you're sitting at 32 and debating on the Intrepid, I would just go to level 34 and build an Enterprise. If that's kind of like where the conversation's headed. If you're already past that level and you're just like staring at the Intrepid for the sake of having the Intrepid, I wouldn't get the Intrepid for the sake of having it. That would be me. I mean, I wouldn't just go grab it just because I don't have it. I would get it for free down the road or wait till a little bit later in the game where faction credits really start rolling in abundance and then do it then. Corian says, I remember full pulling the Q cannon when I was like 5 shards away. Never got a full pull on the ships yet. Yeah, that definitely happens. You're 32 and plan to stay for quite some time to really prep. I mean, I'll be honest, man. If you got 50,000 faction credits, what do you really need to prep for? Like, I know I've got a reputation. I'm the camping guy. What do you need to prep for? What are you prepping for? Help me out. Help me help you. Help me help you. What are you prepping for? You're already at a third of the way, man. You're a third of the way there. Because it's what? Is it 160 or 180 to get an Enterprise at level 34? It's either 160 or 180. So if you're doing your, and remember, you can get 3 blueprints for free a day at your level in the away team store. Don't forget about that. You can get 3 blueprints every day for free from the away team store. Have you been pulling that? If you don't know how, let me show you how, because I like helping my G3 players and my higher level players. Hit your away teams tab. Collect this box every day. Standard assignment booster. Collect your box every day. And then come over to the away teams legacy and pull your wrong Enterprise. Pull your Enterprise blueprints. Get 3 a day. So it's 180. Okay. Thank y'all for confirming. I had just built one on my level 35 account, but I used a combination of away team store, faction credits to get that done. So you still unlock field repairs on your Koskari. Congrats. I'm still working on that for my Rotaran. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right, let me park this because I'm going to get it to auto grind a little bit. Man, the transition loop, I still don't like how much I need to do for this transition loop, man. There's just so many layers to how many things I've got to do. It just takes up so much of my time and my docs, and it bugs me. If you can't tell, it bugs me, okay? I'm tired of pretending it doesn't. It bugs me. All right, I'm going to swap you for you. And then later today, I do need to do some solo armada, so I'm going to put you here. Hey, Gal says they unlocked the FKR 5-star faction ships. Congratulations. Think you'll stop and camp at Oz 53? Yeah, completely logical. Have fun. If you need anything, have any questions, hit me up. That's what I'm here for, especially for all you that I'm going to convince to start being PvP. So, is the Forge reward claim and the Star Path worth dumping the 1600 Forge dust into? Here, let me see if I can pull it up real quick and show you. I've been saving to get my insta jump for my ships. To me, that's more important. But here, let me go ahead and grab that. 1 second. I hit up my Google Drive. Give me a moment. And I believe we have those placed in there, the payouts. I don't know if, is that the right one? Yes, I think I clicked the right thing. Forge details. Where's the bundle? Where's the bundle? Where is the bundle? For grinding champion trophies with a Baby Reliant, what system is best? Whatever you can go to, doesn't matter. Whatever you can hit the most hostiles. I guess I can pull that up here in a second, but the amount of trophies that it pays out is consistent with the level range of the hostile. So like if you're in the G3 area, all those pay out the same, whether it's the 28 or the 32. If you're in the G4 area, all those pay out the same. If you're in the G5 area, all those pay out the same. So, and no, James, there's no chart for the FTQ level locks that I'm aware of. So I think, what, 650 million is one of the locks? And then obviously maxing out your rep is another one of those locks. Oh, Jules is here. Hey, Jules. I didn't know you're here. Yeah, so, sorry. I'm over here staring at chat. Transport rewards range B17 to K12. B17 through K12. Oh, look at that. What page do I need to be on, though? I'm sorry, K32. And I'm probably on the Forge Details tab. All right, one-time claim. Let's put this on the screen. Jules out here lurking, not even letting us know he's here. What a dirty volunteer. So filthy. All right, gonna be right above my head. Y'all ready? Magic's about to happen. Spreadsheets. There you go. There you go. For me, I'm going for the instant jump on my ships, but there you go. Good to have for G6. I mean, more is more, but I mean, I'm not getting super excited about 125 Sigma Trit. So, yeah, there you go. We love spreadsheets. We do. We do. Appreciate people like Quazel, Jules, Blue, Smurf, Tarp, anybody who does any spreadsheet work. And I help. Like, I've been filling in the mastery artifacts, but how they come up with these pretty things, I don't know. And I don't want to learn. I'm going to leave it up to the amazing spreadsheet people, and I'll just be the data entry monkey, and I'll just punch in data when needed. And I'll let the people who are really good at stuff like this make pretty spreadsheets. Rev could never. Rev gives you white boxes with like Arial font numbers. I don't do this. This is cool stuff. Rev gives you like, well, you've seen what Rev gives you. So, yeah, you see what Rev gives you. Now, if this was given 400,000 Sigma Trit, bro, I would be really big on this bundle. If you could just swap the Sigma par steel and the Sigma Trit numbers, I'd be like, you guys and gals need this. But, yeah, it's okay. I'm not saying it's bad. More is more. We do like that, but yeah, there you go. All right. What's the best crew for an Ops 41 Tier 1 Monavine? What, are you just going to be grinding your Texas hostiles? You could use the Voyager crew. That should be something available to you that you have. Use the Voyager crew. Love me? Love you too, Big Daddy. But I'm going to go even further. I'm going to make this bucket white so you could see. There we go. Bam. Look at that. Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. This is the type of spreadsheet you get from Rev, by the way. When Rev makes a spreadsheet, this is what you get. This is Rev's contribution to pretty spreadsheets. This is Jules and everybody else's spreadsheet contribution. This is Rev's. This is my pretty contribution. All right. Hopefully that answered your question. Back to the game. Back to the game. I'm camping at 56 to catch up on everything. I have 3 FKR uncommons at tier 7. I have all the rares. Do I scrap the uncommon to build the rare? I mean, I would build at least 1 rare at 56. But the real money makers are the G5 epics. And if you're scrapping anything to go to anywhere, it's for the G5s. It's definitely for the G5 epics. So definitely go there with your scrapping. That's where your money maker is. That's where the good stuff is. You want to do the G5 epics in terms of rewarding with your scraps. I'm not saying the rares are bad, but like if you're really comparing cost to long-term usage, even today, even with people like Austus out there, right? Austus out there saying, hey, just ride your GS31 to level 94. The G5 epics are your primary ships up to like 66. So G5 epics are the best bang for your investment buck. And there's some great G5 rares. I mean, you'll see Sanctize and stuff at, 1.5 billion power. I mean, they're scary. They get great, but you're not replacing just the incredible usability of the G5 epics. So, yeah. How can I see how much Sigma resources I have at Op 60? My specialty ship upgrades and other stuff needs it. Harley, you want to go to your items menu, click the items button first, come down to your materials tab, scroll all the way to the bottom, and this will show you all the G6 you've acquired so far. Tomas, thank you so much for supporting the family. What ships do you suggest in addition to the GS31 for solo waves? What level are you? Would be my next question, Thomas. So for example, if you're in G5 where I'm at, Enterprise D, Rotaran. If you're in G4, let's say you're level 46 and you're just now trying to get in there, your level 46 rare, your relativity, and GS31. 52, then your Tribune, probably your relativity or your NSEA, whatever's strongest. By 52, a lot of people's relativities, if they've been doing the upgrades and everything, are around 200 million power, 300 million power. So, oh, Funky. Oh, yeah. You're talking about regular resources, aren't you? I'm over here showing you ship parts. My bad. My bad, y'all. You were talking about regular resources. Yeah, that one you're just going to have to wait till you get to G6. My bad. I was talking about the Sigma speed ups and, well, the ship parts and all the materials. My bad. Enterprise E is the main objective you have in this game. Well, that's awesome, Henna, and you can definitely get there. We have free to play who are up there, so it's possible. Gonna take time. So you need the ship parts. You need my ship parts. I'll give them to you if you want. Here, let me trade them to you. Oh wait, they haven't made that in the game yet. Boo. Boo. So, ask someone to scan you works. Yeah, that's one way to do it. That's a long roundabout way, though. You're always looking forward to the next Enterprise? I'm always looking forward to the next Klingon ship, but I will admit, I also like the Enterprise. So, let's scroll on over. The next ship that you're going to see Rev build here in the next couple months will be the Selkie. But aside from the Selkie, I plan on getting all 3 of these. And then after that, I'm probably only going to get the Kaskari. And then after that, I'm going to get all 3, Enterprise E, Crenshaw, and Skimmies. And then eventually, I will get this for free. 100%, not spend a dime. And then still trash talk it too. So, what should you upgrade on your Monavine first? Your weapons. I mean, for hostile grinding, your weapons. So, in about 3 years, I don't think it'll be that long, to be honest with you. I think you'll see people with a free-to-play vengeance within 12 months. You'll see people with a free-to-play vengeance within 12 months. Like, consistently. It won't be that long. There's one thing we can say about this game is that they've got a lot of beautiful ships. Yeah. Want to bet? Yeah, I'll definitely bet you on that. I know how this game works. The Vengeance, after G7 rolls out, the Vengeance will be worthless. This thing will basically be worthless, just how, for the most part, the ISS Jelly is worthless, except for its scrap mechanic. And the ISS Jelly was less than a year. It's not going to be any different. This is only the shiny thing now. As soon as they release G7, they've got at least 9 ships they're selling. This is only the shiny object now. To believe that this thing is going to last and be shiny forever is fool's gold. It's the literal fool's gold that they're selling the VIPs. It won't. Nope. It won't. Yeah. I can guarantee you, we already have players now who are earning blueprints slowly already. It's already happening. Now, the only drawback is you need 1,000 shards, so it will take a little bit of time. But again, it's definitely going to happen. Cube's still valid. The Cube is still the best general purpose ship in the game. It is no longer going to be able to take down the Vengeance for people who are doing all the new research and everything. Yeah, and Milo's got a great point, furthering what I'm saying, because they didn't actually fix the problems with the Vengeance that the VIPs had. What they did is they nerfed the Cube when fighting the Vengeance, which is even further proof that the Vengeance is not going to last deep into G7. Because to last deep into G7, they would actually modify the Vengeance itself. Better warp range, change the firing pattern to be more front-loaded. They didn't do any of that. All they did was say, stop picking on our super whales with your big cubes, you half-spenders. That's what they did. The Vengeance is not going to maintain its luster very long. It's not going to maintain it very long. Just how it goes. And for those who aren't privy to all the stuff going on in G6, and I'm not trying to target the high-level players who bought the Vengeance and are upset. I understand why they're upset, because they were sold something that did not live up to the hype they were given. And I get that. And I empathize with those people. But the Vengeance was getting its tail consistently slapped around by cubes. And instead of actually making the Vengeance what they said the Vengeance was going to be, because I don't know how many people are in the VIP chat here, but they can confirm what I'm saying. When the Vengeance was coming out, they said, this is going to be your ISS Jelly into G7. It's going to be the best ship in the game. I'm verbatim quoting them. And then when it came out, it was getting its butt beat by GS31s, cubes, and they didn't make it better to live up to that hype. All they did was well, we'll make the Cube not win against the Vengeance. So that's why I don't believe it's going to be this G7 super ship that you're level 75 and still rocking your Vengeance. You're going to be like my purchases and have buyer's remorse. And again, that's not targeting anybody who got the Vengeance or anybody who's going to get the Vengeance. I'm specifically talking about the people who dumped serious money to adopt it early because they were told something and that thing ended up not being true. So, yeah. Did they not play test the Vengeance before it's released? Oh, you mean the same people who released an article called Mastering PvP with the Vengeance, and they had PvE officers below decks and PvE FTs and CTs on the Vengeance telling people that they can run off and magically start winning matches? Those same people? Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. So if y'all want to actually hang out with a group of people who actually know what the heck they're doing in PvP, let me give you a Discord. This is our Save PvP Arenas Discord, but you can come in here for some great PvP knowledge, learn the game at a high level. Join that Discord. We're trying to unify to make the game better, to make PvP Arenas better, to have better rewards, actually apply to more people, not just reward the top end of spenders, etc. Join the Discord and help out. Sniper says, preach that Vengeance truth. What can I say? Too many people look at Rev and go, he doesn't know. Yeah. Just like I was there, 3 days ago now, arguing with Scopely that, and I had to make this argument, y'all. And I'm speaking generically. I'm not targeting any individual employee. But the VIP, they really thought the VIP were so stupid. Here's what they did. They took the SMS away from the way to source the Vengeance. For those that don't know, there's an RLB, region leaderboard. Yay, that's fun. You thought XSLBs were bad, try RLBs. You had an RLB and an SMS. They took away the SMS and tried to put those shards in the RLB and tried to tell the VIPs that this was better. As if the VIPs aren't stupid. I'm sorry. As if don't quote that. That was a misstep. I pulled a Scopely. As if the VIPs are stupid and aren't going to know, oh, well, clearly I have to spend more money to get the same amount of shards now because the region leaderboard is everybody in a freaking region. As if VIPs just going to roll over and be like, oh yeah, who cared about an SMS? We had to argue with them. VIP was in flames again. I'm over here talking to 2 community managers about it. Like, you seriously can't do this. And then you got live ops over here like, what do you mean? It's better for the players. So, yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff that happens in the VIP area. And be glad y'all don't have to deal with it. So, yeah. And I'm currently arguing for our G6 players that we've made it to the point where the vengeance should now be sourced with an SLB and SMS. We're way past the point where people who are going to spend serious money are going to do it on an RLB. We are at the point where it needs to be SLB, SMS. Stop with the RLB. The people who are going to spend 20 grand already did it and they're unhappy. Make your VIPs happy. SLB, SMS. That way you can still get some spending and not have people yelling at you every week. And oh, how about this? That also makes it exactly like the ISS Jelly. You know the thing that you said this was? You said this was the ISS Jelly for G7. You remember when you said that, Scopely? Yeah, that uses an SLB. So anyway, there's Rev ranting for our G6 players. Here we go. Do you have a PvE chat? Yeah, we do. It's called Go Mine a Node, Ari. Go mine a node. There you go. What's new? Oh, honestly, not much, Dustin. Good to see you. Welcome in. Honestly, not a ton. So, honestly, not a ton. And by the way, if you are one of the VIPs, please join me in very loudly telling your handler, the VIP Discord, anybody you can get a hold of, that it needs to be SLB, SMS. You're tired of the RLB. We've had it for over a month, 2 months now. It's run its course. Join me, unify with Rev, argue for SLB, SMS. Sniper, he'll even go build 4 more Rotarans just for that. There you go. I'm a player for all the peoples. I'm going to help out G3s and G6s. G7s, real easy. Here, I'm going to help out G7s. You ready? If you're going to G7, let me show you what you need. You need a Visa card. You need a MasterCard. You need an American Express card. You need health insurance for when your wife murders you. That's what you need. I just helped every G7 player. You're welcome. Man of the people. I just helped all of you. You're welcome. Who's built the Intrepid? Congratulations, any cool gamer. I hope you enjoy it. Congratulations. What's the Discord? The PvP Discord? Here, I'll shoot you a link. Right there in the chat. If you want to join the PvP Discord, come over here, learn some more stuff, help with arenas, surviving, jump on in. So, yeah. You're gonna play or just crush slot? Nice, Ginger. Nice. Hey, number one, thank y'all for being here. I know this is kind of like on a random day because, well, I had a lot going on, and yesterday I wanted to get the patch notes video out. So we don't usually have Thursdays. Don't worry, this isn't going to be a normal thing. So Wednesdays will still be our standard, but appreciate those who have stopped in. And if you have any further questions, like you need help with something, just feel free to reach out to me. Come hook me up, hit me up, all those things, and I'll help you out. One more thing also, if you want to check us out and support, because look, I can only do what I do because of amazing people who support this channel, which shout out to those who drop super chats today. But if you want to help out, check out this website. It's revdeuce.com. If you sign up to be a member, we have merch here you can get, but if you sign up to be a member, you get access to our podcast. We have movie night, we have game night, we have all kinds of stuff. We even share some secret stuff from STFC in there. My podcast is done with Ripper/Alex, the guy who made STFC.space and the community mod. So if you want to support the channel so that I can continue to yell at Scopely for you, and so I can continue to yell at Gaijin, War Thunder, for you, check us out on revdeuce.com. I only try to promote myself once a stream. This is the promo. If you want to support the channel, keep it going. It does take your financial assistance. We don't run on hamster wheels and crickets around here. We need good old American green cotton. And thank you so much for it. And I'm glad for those who enjoy. And if you can't, like, hey, not everybody can afford to support $5 a month. Like the video before you roll out. subscribe to the channel, and let everybody know that the worst ginger on the planet has got the best Star Trek Fleet Command advice. Live long and plunder. Stay safe out there. Deuces, I love and appreciate all of you. Next stream tomorrow night on Twitch, we'll be doing PvP arenas. If you want to play with me, be there or be square. You can also join the Discord with a lot of other people who are really good at the game, really good at arenas. We'll see you there. I'm out. Bye.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.